Good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Janet Nohavik. I'm pastor of the Journey Within in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. So glad to be with you here this morning. Welcome. Joining us today is our greatest pleasure to welcome Minister Mavis Pittilla. She's a teacher, an author, a medium. She's taught at the prestigious Arthur Findlay College, been a course organizer, and has traveled the world really being an ambassador for the religion of spiritualism. So we'll be welcoming her a little bit after the healing. So thank you so much, Mavis, for being with us here today. We begin our services with spiritual healing. Spiritual healing is a laying on of hands in prayer. If we were here in person, which we're virtual at the minute, the healers would be in front of the church and you would come up and sit with them if you wanted to. We're virtually meeting this way for now, so our healers are here with us. If there's anyone you would like to request healing for, please put their first name, last initial in the chat box. No last names for confidentiality. You can also put pets' names or anything you would like to pray for healing for. If there's anyone during the course of the week when we're not on our service, please either call the church office or email us. We'll be happy to get those across to Reverend Patty, who gets them to the healers, and they're prayed for the days, weeks, months to come. If you'd like to participate in the healing aspect of the service, when we put on the beautiful, quiet healing music in a few moments, just focus on your breath. And as our healers are working, as our wonderful healers are here, sending healing to us, absentee healing to those you're praying for, just kind of breathe in and out, igniting the inner healer within you, boosting your own immune system. So if you'd like to just participate, simple way, just go into the quiet with the music and focus on that healing breath, feeling the healing being sent to you. So I'm going to open with a prayer, then we'll be putting on a piece of music and we go into our healing minutes. Infinite and gracious God, as we come together in community this morning, we pray for healing all around our planet. There are people of different faiths praying. As we collectively come together, we pray for our planet. We pray for all those places around our planet where there is still discord, where there is lack, where there are those suffering, sending healing to those places. We pray for all of us, the world, as we go through this time of the pandemic, hopefully at some point putting this behind us. We pray for each of your homes and families represented here. For all of those that are struggling, whether it be emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, we are sending out our healing thoughts to those. And for those who at this time are either in hospital or nursing home, not feeling well at home, may you feel the comfort of the healing that comes from this service. As we lay all of these prayers at the footstool of the Great Spirit, which we know to be love. Amen. As we come to the end of our healing moments, we continue to send absentee healing to all those who have requested our prayers. If you did come in a couple of minutes late, if there's anyone you would like to request healing for, you can put their names in the chat box, first names, last initials, and our healers would be happy to work with them. So thank you for being there. We'll just close with a prayer. Infinite and gracious God, we ask the great unseen healing force to restore anything that is out of balance, whether it be body, mind, and spirit. We ask for healing for our planet. It's beautiful earth, the water, the air, the oxygen we need. We pray for healing for all of those names you've requested healing for and more. Amen. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Reverend Janet Nohavik, pastor of the Journey Within in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. Again, it's my distinct honor to welcome Minister Mavis Patilla, who we will ask to open with prayer. I believe you're muted, Mavis. Um, you're still muted, Mavis. I don't know if Jean's having some technical difficulty. Just one moment. Hello?
It's coming up saying the host won't let me unmute.
I'm asking you to unmute.
I know, but when I try, it's saying the host won't let me.
Let me make you a co-host. Just a bit of a technical difficulty, which we're gonna see if we can fix.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, there we go. Wonderful.
Hello, everyone. We've come together today to actually become one of soul and of spirit. And I know that's not easy, but just for a brief period of time, as we come together in the oneness of that creative power, may I lead you in a prayer? Gracious Spirit, thou who moves through all nations and yet can mark each sparrow's fall, we, this assembly of soul, come together this day to create a power that might transmit throughout our world and indeed to the world of the spirit. Thankful are we for this opportunity of drawing together an essence of thy spirit, knowing that thou resides deep within our being. We're allowing ourselves to give that power to all that lives and moves and has its being upon planet Earth. We are aware that all heads of states, nations, and governments need our prayers, our understanding. They need that power, that peace that rises from deep within their being, that is the essence of thy divine spark. As we move our souls into that oneness, thankful are we for this opportunity to render a service unto thee, unto that peace, that power, that love that emanates from deep within our own beings and indeed emanates throughout the universe. Great Spirit, we reside in thy peace this day, drawing the essence of thy love and thy understanding, knowing full well that no matter what befalls us in the time ahead, that thou art the healer, the peacemaker, the comforter, and the supporter of us all. We are united this day, and we pray that as we go forward, we will go forward in thy name, which is love and which is peace. We leave our proud planet in your care and in your keeping, and ask only that peace shall come to all that lives, all that moves and has its being, through thy power, thy grace. Amen.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to welcome Mavis for the address.
Hello again, everyone. This is a beautiful season, isn't it, that we're coming into? The autumn and the winter, when Mother Earth has took back into herself and the trees are becoming bare. And it looks almost as if the earth has died. And yes, of course, it's living, it's moving, and it's having its being through this great power, this eternal source, this supreme intelligence that we often term God. And we're moving into a time, aren't we now, particularly if you're like us, we're looking forward to Christmas, we're looking forward to the family coming together, and we've already started to decorate the house. We've got our lights on, they're absolutely beautiful, all different colours, all flashing, all twinkling, and they look great. And it made me think, you know, when I saw the house in all its splendour with all its lights and its Christmas tree, you know, that's how the spirit world see us. They see us as light. They see us emanating all our power as it pours out from us through the auric field. And it made me feel as if I can imagine the spirit world looking at us and seeing that welcoming light that welcomes them home into our space, into our time. The spirit world becoming aware how we are emanating our joy of our memories of them. And yes, perhaps there is a colour there that's perhaps a little bit darker than the others, because we're also remembering it's time for grieving. Many of us this year will have lost someone that we've held dear in our hearts and held in our arms, and they are gone, but they haven't gone, as we have not gone from them. So how do we prove that to them? I believe through our auric field, that we are like the light that constantly shines, moving, glowing, and having its being, welcoming the spirit world into our home, into our space. And you know, quite often as we're sitting and we're just thinking thoughts, we're not aware how our thoughts turn into colour and emanate a power that goes out to the spirit world. We're not aware actually of the joy that the spirit world receive when they see us in that wonderful state of being, when we are emanating that joy, that light, that grace, drawing them ever closer into our memories. And like you and I, we have wonderful memories, don't we? And then we have memories that really can cause us disturbance, emotional upset, and grief. And what happens to the auric field during that time? For me, we still emanate throughout all that. The emanation that goes out to the world of the spirit is, we love you, we love you, we love you. And we pray that you're there with us in this moment of our need. And that's wonderful too for the spirit world, because it allows them to still be in tune with us. It still allows the spirit world to know what we're going through, how we feel. And it all emanates through that positive colour, that regardless of where we are, regardless of how deep perhaps our pain has gone into our hearts and into our being, that we draw them close, and in drawing them close, we give them the opportunity once more to serve. But there is another side to the auric field. There's the side that says, I don't wish you to sort me out. I just wish you to be there. I just want to know you're around me. I don't need you to carry me or sort my difficulties out. I just need to know you're there and that you love me. I wonder what that colour is like. Of course, colour is unique and individual in everybody's auric field, and how we emanate that colour becomes relevant to the spirit world and the understanding. But we're changing, you know, our understanding of the spirit world is changing, and I'm very thankful for that. I know now that as they draw close to us, our auric field draws us closer to them. And that union that takes place, that union of the oneness, where there are no divisions. Gordon used to say, lift the veil and you can see them. I would say, lift the veil and let your auric field fly free and emanate the colour that will make that oneness, where there will be no divisions, no veils, just that oneness, not two worlds, but one world. A world in which we can serve the spirit world as they serve us. You know, for many people, they come to a medium for the communication with those that they have left behind. They come because they have a need. The spirit world, the spirit people have a need to communicate with us. And when you come to a gathering such as this, when you go for that one-to-oneness with a medium so that your loved one can have that intimate time with you, you know, in the world of the spirit, that is so uplifting for them. And they can rejoice, and we can be bathed in their colour, the splendour of their spirit, the splendour of their soul, so that we can feel the healing, the soothing balm that tells us there is no division, there is just the oneness. So colour that magnifies and moves and is free to actually move between two worlds, different shades, different power, but all in that need for the oneness, for us to still be united, still in that power of the Great Spirit. I love the sparkles of Christmas. When you're driving in the car and you see the homes all decked out in their splendor, it uplifts and it transforms. And I know the excitement and the smile that can come to the face from seeing what people will do to create light and color in this world where Mother Earth seems to have gone back, is no more, is not giving a life force even. And I know that as we take part in dressing our homes, we are dressing the planet. We are giving to the planet light. We are giving to the planet power. And we are illuminating planet Earth. And planet Earth will rejoice at that which we are doing. How wonderful is that? When you think that colour can actually not just transform our own lives, but can transform the lives of two worlds until there are no divisions, just the oneness. When we come together as we are doing today. You sat at your home, in your fireside, perhaps. I wonder what your colour is like. I wonder what you're emanating out to the unseen world. I wonder if you can feel the essence of the spirit as it comes forward. And I wonder if you use the screen of your mind, whether you can visualize all the beautiful colours that the spirit world would send to you, to bathe you, to uplift you, to give you strength, that you might go on. So as you can see, there's an inpouring and an outpouring from colour. Colour that emanates, giving and receiving. And sometimes it's wonderful when you allow people to give to you, to share with you. Not that you need to do anything, but just to be bathed, to know that that blessing that comes from the people on earth as their essence of colour bathes you, and then the blessing that transforms our lives, the blessing of the world of the spirit. So yes, we are coming to a special, special season. And yes, I would agree with so many people when they say it isn't as it was many, many years ago. But we are different. You and I are different. We see things differently because we are aware. We are aware. And we are aware that it is not about tinsel and it's not about sparkle. It's about the essence of what it gives and how it shares with humanity and all that lives. If I had a present that I could give to you, like Father Christmas coming down and giving you a present, every one of you, it would be a mirror, so that you could hold the mirror up in front of yourself and see your auric field and how beautiful you are, how wonderful that auric field is. If I had a mirror that I could offer you to show you the strength of your spirit, the power of your soul, I really, truly would be showing you all the colours of the rainbow, for that's you, as you are, just at this moment. No matter what's going on in your life at the moment, you cannot still the colour of you. You cannot tarnish the spirit of you. You are the beauty of all creation. If I had a mirror that could show you who you truly are and what you truly look like, not too thin, not overweight, not wearing glasses, not old and not young, but in essence, if I could show you the eternal you that resides deep within your being, then I would be showing you the power of the Great Spirit that resides within. And no matter what goes on in life, that can never be extinguished. It will change its form when you make your transition from this world to the next. But it will always be there, that eternal source, that light, that power, that colour, all the colours. Oh, If only I was Father Christmas and I could give you all this magic mirror to show you how the spirit world sees you. For again, how does the spirit world see you? They see you in the light of your love that emanates from deep within your being, that rejoices in the memories that you have shared with those in the unseen world. You emanate your need to feel loved by them still, a color that is so rich in its power that you can imagine the spirit world saying, ah, I am loved. I am loved by those I knew and those I hold dear. Even though I've been in the spirit world many years, I have the joy of seeing their love emanating through the color of the reality of who they are, through the auric field. Wow. So perhaps that's something I shall try to do. Find a magic mirror and send it out across the world so that everyone that lives on planet Earth, regardless of color or creed, and say, look at yourself and see who you are and allow the beauty of God's being that is within you. Let that beauty shine and be crystal in its abundance. Unfortunately, I'm not Father Christmas, but I'm certain if only you will listen to my words, you will not find hope. You will find a realization of the service you render to the spirit world and the service that you render to planet Earth. For no matter when you or how you walk across God's earth, that auric field of yours is emanating, touching other people in a way, serving them without them being aware, without you needed to be told thank you. Just doing it because the auric field is that spark of God that's within. Thank you.
Thank you, Mavis, for those beautiful, inspiring words. Thank you so much. We now come time to our announcements. If we were here in person at the church, it's time for a collection and announcements. Reverend Karen has made these little boxes. If you would like to donate, you can take a screenshot of the little donation box that takes you easily to somewhere that you can donate. Please visit the website or send a check the traditional way if you are in a position to help. And we're deeply appreciative to all those who have continued to support us through this pandemic time, which is a long time, as you all know. So grateful for any contributions at all. Several things happening today at 12 o'clock. There is a memorial service tribute to George Curry, a wonderful friend to many of us who passed away. You can join that. The link is on the website if you would care to. This evening at 6:30, there is our usual Sunday night service at 5 p.m. If you are a church member, you should go to Constant Contact. There's just a kind of updating gathering at 5 o'clock. Used to be we had fellowship after every church, so it's kind of just a gathering to say hello to each other on again on Zoom. So please join us at 5 for just a few minutes if you're free. to see the community and to just greet each other as we come into the holiday season as well. If you would like to help with the Christmas collections for the families that we help, we could use gift cards either to food stores or Walmart, Target, whatever you feel inspired to help with. Usually we would have all the things in the chapel. The families would come and pick things. Reverend Patty and ourselves get together. We have a list of the families and the ages of the children, and we'll use the cards to make a box for each family. And they get the cards as well, the kids. So it is really very meaningful to the families that we do help. So if you'd like to do that, you could mail them to the church. You could drop them at the church mailbox, or you could spearhead a donation, just let Karen know. This is specifically for the holiday families. If you'd like to drop off any food at the church for the Kumak pantry, no clothing at this time, nothing perishable, no glass, nothing perishable. You can leave that as well at the church door in a bag or a box. And we'll get that across to Kumak in Patterson, which is a wonderful organization. There are a couple of classes remaining for the year. Christine Morgan will be with us on Friday night for a class, and Simone Key is with us on the 11th of December, speaking. Of course, there are holiday services, so please look under the events page. On Christmas Day, there's a prayer service. It's not our traditional service, so you can find all of that information that's listed. I forgot to mention on December 21st, I believe there is our winter solstice, so you can join us for that as well. And let's see, what else am I forgetting? We do have a lot of classes coming up for the new year, so please check out everything that's on there. Thank you, everybody that's come out for the fundraisers for the schoolhouse, Hydesville Schoolhouse. They have been putting the electric up. There's a new electric box, so that's exciting. The workers that will be doing the transformation inside have electric on the property. And we also had water hooked up. None of these things have ever run to the schoolhouse. So very exciting things happening. And thank you for everyone that came and helped out with those fundraisers all year long. Many of those supported by Mavis and Jean and their students. So we're so deeply grateful. We do have classes for the first 2 weeks of December, and then the last 2 weeks of December, they go on hiatus until January. So check out the availability on Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. There's a healers gathering on Tuesday evenings. There's a student demonstration of mediumship tomorrow night. So if you'd like to join us, it's some of our Monday night advanced students. There's no fee for that. Please look at the link again under the events page. So lots going on. If you find this a challenging time and would like to speak with one of the ministers during this time, please call the office, leave a message. There's only myself and Karen who are privy to what comes in, and confidentially, we'd be happy to speak with you or have you connect with one of our ministers. So if you're finding this a tough time to navigate, please know that we're here for you. I'd like to thank Reverend Patty, Reverend Karen, and the multitude, I have to say, of wonderful people that have kept all the classes, Zoom links, tech jobs, just so many things. I can't say enough for the volunteerism and the dedication to our community. If you like, when we resume in April, which is our plan, the first Sunday in April, there will be one in-person service at 10 o'clock. There will continue to be this virtual service at 10 o'clock as well. And then there will also be the Sunday night service at 6:30. So you can join us for 3 different options. So online is not going away. It's part of our new world. So we welcome our online community. If you'd like to become a member of the Journey Within, there's a little membership box. We appreciate your support as well. I think I've not forgot anything, but I'm sure hopefully someone will mention it to me in the chat if I did. In a moment, we're going to be moving towards our demonstration of mediumship. We always have a piece of music before that. Someone is asking, the virtual service on Sunday will not be a duplicate of what is happening in the chapel. We've decided we're going to run it this way, separately, totally. so we don't have technological difficulties, and some of the music streaming and stuff. So it will be a completely different service, different speaker. So as I mentioned, we move into our demonstration of mediumship. As a spiritualist church, we do believe in the continuity of life. We always have a piece of music before we move into that. If Mavis comes to you, or if she gives out a body of evidence that you believe belongs to you, what you'll do is raise your little yellow blue hands, which are along the bottom under reactions, or sometimes on your phone, raise hand. It says, few people could do that. That's wonderful. If you can take, so please don't put your hand up unless you can take 90–95% of what's been said. That's very important to us. If you can take the first 5 pieces and then you're saying, I can't take the rest of this, please lower your hand. There may be a couple people that have their hands up. It is up to the medium to decide who the correct recipient is. We just feel a pull when we know we're with the right person. So we'll just be going into a piece of music before we move into the demonstration. Just take me a moment. It's my honor to introduce Mavis back for the demonstration of mediumship.
Thank you. Thank you for that song. I'm sure everybody's like me, that we've got someone in the spirit world where we know that they're the wind beneath our wings. And of course, you've got people on the earth, haven't you, where we've got people that are the wind beneath our wings, and that's wonderful. Okay, but I can't go on again. All right, lovely. Let me just say that I have the most lovely family here. I'm going to begin with the family because the family's appeared. So I know I've got mum and dad. I also know that I've got an Anne or an Annie in the spirit world. And as I work with an Annie in the spirit world, I've got to say there must be somebody who was named Annie after the Annie in the spirit world. I know that sounds a bit complicated, but that's how it is. Okay, so I'm sure somebody knows what I'm talking about there. I don't feel you're Annie named after somebody in the spirit world, but somebody has been named after Annie, and she's very pleased about that. In fact, I know that there's also a Mary in the spirit world that will connect into this family group that I've got today as I'm working. And they seem to be a really happy group as I work with them. I know that they're around you, and I know you feel them around you. So it's quite a joyful reunion that's taking place here. So who am I with? All right. I'm going to start off there because I just know that there's somebody can take that and will understand perfectly why I say this is a joyful reunion as I work together, because I know this family was they could fall out. They were the type of family where they could have their differences, but they never broke. They would always come back, and they'd always be family. And that's the important thing with this group as they've appeared. They just appear as family. All right, does that make sense to you?
There's an Elise here, if you could speak up, and there is a Shannon if Elise.
Yes, it does make sense.
May I just say that Mavis does know Elise, but obviously has not given her this information before.
Okay, lovely. Hi, Elise.
But please say, Elise, if there's anything you've had from Mavis before.
Yes, please do, Elise, because it is important. I know as I go on, you see, that this family, they try to stay close together, but it wouldn't have been possible. I know that families kind of spread out. As they got older, they spread out. So when we're talking about the children, and then we're talking about the grandchildren, there was kind of this moving away from this family knot. Does that make sense to you, Elise?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Because I just know that they're telling me, and they're laughing because there's so much humor with this group in the spirit world. They're just saying, oh, well, we can go between 5 homes, you know, and they're not all in the same place. So I know that you must still have people that live apart from you where you can't pop in and see them all the time. You understand that?
Yes,
I know that you have lost a lady to the spirit world that you loved very much. And I want to say a mother, you understand that?
yes,
As I work with her, can I also say you've lost a mother-in-law to the spirit world, and she's very caring of you now. Does that make sense to you?
yes,
As I work with that, I've got a young man that's just stood at the back of the group, just coming forward. And I know that he passed to the spirit world very, very quickly as I work with him. I'm well aware that if you can find John in the spirit world, then you will find this young man. I don't feel he's John, but he connects to the family of John. Does that make sense to you as well?
yes, it does.
Wonderful, because I just want to tell you that they really are pulling all the stops out. I'm aware as I work that there's a feeling of people that loved Mother Earth, they loved natural law, they loved herbs, they loved everything to do with the ground. I just know that they were very spiritual people, but I can't say church-going spiritual people. These are spiritual people who found their own way and their own patterns to evolve to help humanity. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right, because they're just talking about you and how they have spent the year very close by your side. You understand?
Yes,
And I know you must have gone through a period over this last 18 months where you would have almost have felt it would have been a relief to join them. And then you would have been told by the spirit world, it's not time for you yet. That makes sense as well, doesn't it?
yes, it does, Mavis. Yes.
You understand? Oh, good. Because they're just here and they've just like kind of are encouraging you now to just stand your ground where your health is concerned. So I know that they are still around you. I need to go, if I may, with you and just take you into your kitchen, because I know if I go into your kitchen and I go to a cupboard, it's a cupboard that's not far from the sink, near the sink. It's up on the wall, but it's near the sink, and I know that I can find different medication in that cupboard. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
If I go there, your mother in particular seems to be talking about she's showing it to me, actually. She's showing me like a canister. It's a white canister. It's got writing on it. And I really feel as if there's some herbal essences or herbal medication that's in this canister. Would that make sense to you too?
It does.
All right, lovely. Because what I'm saying to you, Elise, is that your mother keeps going into this cupboard, and I just get the feeling that you're very good at your medication, but you do have a tendency to kind of, that isn't suiting me. I'm not taking it because it doesn't suit me. And I know that you've had to stand your ground there and say to medical people, this is not right for me. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does. Yes.
All right, because your mother is just applauding you and saying, well done, girl, well done. You just keep that up, because we need you to be able to go back until they have found the right stuff for you. You understand?
Thank you. Yes, I do.
As I work with her, she's a delight to work with, you, Mum. She's a delight to work with. She has a kind of a, I hope I'm saying this correctly to you, Elise, and you'll understand what I mean, but she's kind of got a sound in her voice as if she's not like kind of American. Do you know what I mean? She's got like an influence in her voice that gives me the impression that she would have come from another country, or there is another heritage away from America that she would have belonged to. Does that make sense as well?
She was American, but she had her own way of speaking, which is very unusual. Her elocution
Oh,
was
good.
different.
As long as you can understand it, because I'm trying to work with this. I'm trying to work with when she talks to me, and
Yes,
she's lovely to talk to. I've got to say, she's cuddly, but she's bossy. She's vivacious, but she's quiet. You've got so many different aspects in this mother of yours to try and explain who she is. You understand that as well, don't you?
yes,
But you have her eyes, and her eyes are twinkling. So I know that she had very talkative eyes. You understand that?
yes, I do.
Now then, I just want to tell you that I have a gentleman here that does not belong to your family. He comes in, and I know that you have at some time had a connection with a First Nations person, because as I work, he looks to me as if he would have been like a medicine man, or coming from that era where I would be talking about healing again, but in a totally different way to how we do it. You understand this gentleman as well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Because I know you have received healing from him. I know you have. And he's just telling me to tell you, when you ask for me, I am there. When you ask for me, I am there. So I know that you are still in need of healing, and I know that he's there for you. You understand that?
Yes, thank you.
All right, darling. I'm going to leave you with that if I may, but if I could just tell you, you've got a gorgeous family here in the spirit world that are pulling out all stops. All right. So I'm going to just leave you with that if I may, but I do know that they are concerned about your health still. You understand that?
I do. I do.
I'm sorry about that, Elise, because I'll put you on my healing list as well. So God bless. God bless, Elise.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
Mavis, so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. You're welcome. As I move on, I feel as if I've left Elise, but Elise's family don't want to go, really. They're still here. Can I just say, Elise, before I leave you, have you got some tree ornaments, Christmas tree ornaments that belong to the family?
I have some ornaments, yes.
Oh, because I just was coming away, and then I just heard the boy say, oh, but tell her she's still going to put the ornaments out. You've got some from the past that have got strong memories to your early years, but you also have got some baubles of some description that belong to your children that are on the earth now. And I know you put these up too. And you must have a great grandchild, sorry, not a great grandchild, you must have a grandchild on the earth, and there's a bauble that connects to him as well. So I'm going to leave you with that, if I may, and try and break the link with this lovely family of yours, otherwise it'll turn into a private sitting. Thank you for my contact with you. As I move on and I go forward, I also know that I'm talking to a lovely, lovely lady. As I work with her, I am very, very much aware that you would have nursed this lady. I'm certain that this lady would have lost not only physical ground, but she would have lost mental ground. That's the best way for me to put it. I feel this lady would have suffered with Alzheimer's or senile dementia. She's not actually telling me that. I'm having to work with that on my feelings that she's giving me. All right. But I do know this lady would, it would have broke your heart. I just know it would have broke your heart to have been there for her. I know as I work with her, you would not have been able to take care of her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you would have been careful of her security. Who am I with? I really know that you would have been so kind to this lady. I know you're very daughterly, you're very, very kind with her. And I know she wasn't the easiest of ladies. She had a lovely manner, but as she lost her way, I just get the distinct impression that her character changed. And it's lovely for her to be back to who she was, this bright, evidential lady. I know your father's in the spirit world with her, and I also know she has a sister in the spirit world with her. So I know that that should whittle it down. As I talk, I know that there is a Mary. I know that there's a Mary that would link into your grandmother's generation, not your mother's generation, but your grandmother's generation. And as I work, I just keep getting the knowledge that there would have been a gentleman smoked a pipe, because I can smell the pipe tobacco, and I know that you can smell it even now in your home when you're in need. When you're in need, you can smell it, and it's very strong. Does that make sense? Have we got our lady or our gentleman now, Jean?
Kelly, can you still take all of that? Kelly?
No, I can't take all of that.
Okay, thank you then. So I'm going to go to Shannon. Just need to promote her because Shannon, if you could unmute.
I just will go on, if I may, Janet,
Okay.
if you don't mind, whilst they're sorting this out. I also know that there has been a passing not too long ago, because I know that you're still feeling the throes of a grieving process. I know that the person that has gone to the spirit world is a male, not a female, and I know that there would have been hospitals around this gentleman prior to him going to the spirit world. And I know that it has to link into your family. This is not a friend. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Shannon? If we
Okay,
can
you
hear
understand
your
that.
voice, Shannon.
Yes, my name is Ashley. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Ashley.
Well, I'd love to be able to go back to this lady, if I may, because she's so bright. I've got to tell you, she's dressed lovely. She's really dressed, not posh, but she's smart. She's smart, and she's got her hair. She keeps touching her hair, and she's got just little earrings in. Okay, not big, not in your face, but she would have been fastidious when she was younger. And I know that she really loved her home, loved you, would have been there at the back of you when you were coming up. And I know that she didn't have it easy when you were young. I know that it would have been hard work for her to do everything that she wanted to do so you could have the best. And I know she wanted you to have the best. Does that make sense to you, darling?
Yes. Thank you.
I'm certain that you must have pieces, one or two pieces that belong to her. You know, I just feel as if you've got two pieces of jewelry that belongs to her. Now, she hasn't got a huge jewelry box. That's not what I'm giving you. She just has one or two pieces here. You understand that?
No, I have some other belongings of hers, so.
She hasn't got any other jewelry.
She has.
She has, good, because I know there's not a lot, you see, but I do know that some things that should have come to you didn't come to you. And she's sad about that, because she feels that you were the one that actually intuitively read her when things were not right in her life towards the end of her life. And I know your care and your attention means that you had to stand up for her. So it wasn't always nice and easy and peaceful and happy. It seems to me that you had to be the strong one, your shoulders had to go back, and you had to really try and defend her as much as you could. You understand that as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
But I do know that there are other people that could have helped and should have been there. I just get the feeling that they weren't always as intuitive as you were to know what your mother needed. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, I can't tell you how much this mother of yours is blessing you. I can't tell you how much she cares about you. I do know that you feel her. I know you're sensitive. I know you're mediumistic. I know that it's there, and I know you've had it since you were young. This hasn't come into being late on in life. This has come in through your life. You understand that?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Now, if we go back to your grandparents, that's where you will find that link, because there has been another lady in your family that would have had that mediumistic link that you have got, and that healing ability, because you're so intuitive. I know that at the moment you're trying to help and take care of someone on the earth that is not at all in a good place. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, very much so.
As I give you that, unfortunately, I have to say, I just feel that they won't always listen to you. I just get this feeling that they're not always listening. And I know that that worries you, because you really do have this ability to be able to help people through a lot of difficulties. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm smiling here, as you can see. I'm just smiling because I've just got a lady here, and she's put an ordinary pack of playing cards down for me. And I know there would have been a lady that really could read teacups, could actually read playing cards. She had a wonderful ability when she was on the earth. And she keeps saying to me, you tell her, Mavis, that it gets better as it goes on. It doesn't get worse. She has been there. She's rising up. She's like Phoenix rising out of the ashes. And tell her, I've put it down here and this is fine. You understand that, darling?
Yes, thank you.
You understand it? I'm sorry I'm smiling. This lady would have lost height. She's got a very strong nose. I know she's got a pinny on, an apron on that we wouldn't wear today. And I know she would have had problems with her legs towards the end of her life. I really feel as if I'm talking about a grandmother, not a mother there, if I may be so bold as I work. I just know that she's gorgeous. But I do know that that stubborn streak that she had, because she was right, and she would have had premonitions. So I know that occasionally you do have premonitions. Does that make sense to you as well?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Yes.
All right, lovely, good. Because I just know you must have them. And she said, she just keeps saying to me, and she's only little. I mean, I've shrunk since I was, as I've got older, but I know she's shrunk down. She wouldn't have been very tall at the best of times. She doesn't look like a big woman. And by the way, she had sons. And she would tell those sons off, but they were always taller than she was. Okay. And she chuckles. She's full of life here. I know she went to the spirit world because there was something wrong within her digestive system. I know she didn't like doctors, and she certainly would not have liked hospitals, this lady. She would have kept her zip on her mouth and not said anything as I work with her. But she really is a good, strong influence in your life, along with the guy who smoked the pipe. Now, if you have now at this time put your pen down and you are not writing or using the computer, but he's got a pen, so I'm going to have to give it you his way. He said, I don't want her to put the pen down. I want her to keep the pen, because we are influencing the story. We are influencing her writing. And it's not a fiction story. This is a story, okay? A true record of everything. And he just does not want you to put that pen down, darling. So I know that there's something you still have to do. And your grandmother's just put it in and said, well, she can't do everything, you know. She's here, there, and everywhere. And it's like sometimes, you know, she lives in a car because she's bobbing here and she's going there and she's doing this and she's doing that. And I just know that she can't do everything. But this old man, no, he's not having that with his pipe. And I know he liked to sit outside. I know he liked to be in a rocking chair. It's not a swing. It's a proper rocking chair that he's sat in. He's got very long legs. I don't know if you'll remember all that, but he's got very long legs. I know that there are photographs that are spread out around family, but you know, darling, he really is a stalwart. He believes in you absolutely, and he knows that you are going to be like Phoenix rising out of the ashes, and where that pain that has hurt you so badly, I just know that you will move on to the next chapter. All right, sweetheart, do you understand what I've said?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, okay, that's lovely. But do take this lovely grandmother with her cards, and I don't know if you remember that she would lay them out on the table and there would be a massive sugar bowl in the center and it was pink glass somehow. Looks pink glass that she's showing me there. But sugar, she's showing me the sweetness. And I know there's a sweetness coming into your days. All right, my darling. Thank you so much for my contact with you and this wonderful, wonderful family. Thank you very much. And thank you, Elise, for your family. What I love about being a medium is that I get to know people's families, and I always feel as if I kind of will always belong to those families in the spirit world because of you being here on the earth. So thank you very much for my contacts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mavis. That was absolutely beautiful. That will be bringing us to the end of our services. We're so grateful you have all been here with us. We do close with song and prayer. So we will ask Mavis, Minister Mavis Pittilla, to close with prayer before we go to the closing song.
Great Spirit, thankful are we for the opportunity to use thy power for the reunion between the two worlds. We send our heartfelt love to the world of the spirit. And as we move forward, thankful are we that they will be there by our sides, not telling us what to do, but just being there for us. Great Spirit, see into our hearts, understand our thinking, and dwell with us always. Amen.
Amen. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We look forward to seeing you later today. If you'd like to be with us, our deepest gratitude to Jean and Mavis, and for all of you coming to be with us in community.